Hey guys, welcome to this week's review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 8. Let's get into it. Okay, so the episode starts off with Sanya and her sister. Her husband wants another child, but you know what? I'm gonna save that for a little bit later on once we've seen everything kind of play out because I am reviewing it. I'm not reviewing it live, but I'm doing it section by section. So I don't want to comment on Sanya quite yet. Okay, so let's move on to Candy and Marlo and Sheree. So they all go to the spa. And oh my gosh, if I was Marlo and Sheree, I would be so annoyed with Candy. I would be so annoyed because it's like, what, like, why did you show up? Why are you there, Candy, if you didn't want to participate in the spa treatment or participate in the Sonya. Oh my gosh. Sauna. If you weren't going to participate, why show up? What was even the point? Why couldn't they have brunch or something? Like, it really didn't make any sense to me. And it kind of goes along with what Marlo and Sheree are saying about Candy. You know what? I'm going to include Todd as well, where I don't think Candy means to be a jerk. I think she's really busy and she has lots of things going on, right? So she probably has some business things she had to attend to after this scene. So yeah, I understand you don't want to mess up your makeup, you don't want to mess up your hair in a sauna. I get that, but I don't know, it's just it comes off as rude because they planned this, event, right? A day at the spa, and it's like you're I don't know. It would just be best to be like cancel and be like, "Yo, I have something to do after. Can we go to eat instead, or can we do something where my hair and my makeup doesn't get messed up?" Because I don't know, it kind of pulls you out of the show a little bit. It breaks the fourth wall just a little too much for me because in real life, okay? In real life, if you and your friends plan a trip to the spa and one of your friends come and they're like, "Oh, I have something to do after, so I'm not going to participate in any of the spa events. I'm just going to sit and watch you guys get a massage and get facials and go in the sauna and whatever. I'm just going to watch you over here." In real life, you wouldn't do that. So the only reason why Candy is getting away with this right now is because they're filming a show and Candy, this is a job for Candy. Let's just be real. She's showing up for her scene, and then after that, she's going to do what she needs to do. And it just breaks the fourth wall for me because it just comes off that, like, these ladies are not real friends. Like, I reviewed Beverly Hills the other day. Like, this is the difference with Beverly Hills. Do I think these ladies are best friends with each other? No, right? I think they all understand that they're coworkers, but I don't know. It's just it feels like there's genuine friendships there within Beverly Hills. It does. And with the you know what, I'm not even going to mention the other housewives right now. I'm just going to speak on Beverly Hills because that's the only other housewives I'm watching recently. I want to watch Dubai and I definitely want to watch the Ultimate Girls Trip. So I'm definitely going to do a review this week, but don't quote me on that one. Okay? But yeah, with Beverly Hills, it feels like there are genuine friendships there. With Atlanta, it's very shaky for me. It's very shaky. And now I know they introduce new ladies and stuff, so it's going to take some time for the friendships to formulate. But Candy, I'm sorry, she's got to do a lot better, or I don't think she needs to be part of the show anymore. Because you have to at least make me believe that you like these people and you're genuine friends. No genuine friend would show up to a spa day and not participate. They would cancel. They would say, "Sorry, friend, I'm busy. Let's reschedule. Or can we do lunch instead of going to the sauna?" Because like it just didn't make sense to me. Right? And then when Marlo and Sheree are accusing her of not being a good friend, it's like I can't even really take this argument seriously because of course Candy's not a good friend because she's not your friend. You're her coworker. And I think she's even said as much after the whole Phaedra situation, which I totally understand why your guard would be up after something like that. I think she said something like she doesn't really talk to the ladies like that off camera, right? She only really talks to them on camera. And I don't know, like on a one hand, if I was a producer, you would think that would be a good thing, right? Because it's like, okay, we're gonna save all the juicy parts for on camera. I can understand them not wanting any off camera conversations, but I think it low key kind of hurts the show because this is supposed to be a group of friends. How are you supposed to be friends with someone and you don't talk to them unless you're being filmed? Like, that's not friendship. So when Marlo and Sheree are being like, when Sheree specifically was like, when me and Tyrone were having our thing, you didn't call to check up on me. Me as an audience, I don't really, it's hard for me to really care because it's just very obvious that Candy is not really into Sheree like that. Now they did show flashbacks and I don't know. They show the picture and that's supposed to make us believe that they're BFFs. I don't know. Like, anybody can pose for a picture, especially if you guys are already in the limelight. So it's like you showing me a picture does not mean that they were genuine friends. Now, I do think maybe there was some sort of friendship, some sort of relationship earlier on. But I think after the whole Phaedra thing and Candy just having 101 things to do, I I think they fell out, especially after how Sheree acted. I believe it was season 10 or something when Kim came back. I, I think Candy was over her then. So this whole Tyrone situation, when Candy was like, I was waiting for you to come to me about it. Excuses, right? Now, I understand if Kenya came to her and told her what happened with Tyrone, I can totally understand her waiting. But this was in the tabloids. Everybody knew about it, okay? Everybody knew about it. This was public. So if you have a friend and you see that they are publicly humiliated or something, and this is your genuine friends, I use in quotation marks, you would be calling them up and being like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I just heard la 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 la. So Candy, I'm sorry. That's not an excuse. That's not. Sorry. And then Marlo has a moment and she's talking about, we know about her sister and her sister not wanting to get help. And it's really sad. And I think in that moment, Marlo was like, you never call and ask about me and how I'm doing. And I'm going through all these things. I would really like your support as a friend. And then all of a sudden, Candy just starts to break down, crying, losing it, yelling, and it's like, I'm sick of y'all. You guys don't do this for me. You guys don't da 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 da. And I'm not really feeling Candy. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling Candy this season. I do like her, but I feel, even like I said before, watching previous seasons, earlier seasons of her, that whole Phaedra situation, Phaedra was dead but wrong. Okay? Do not get me wrong. Phaedra was wrong. So I'm not defending Phaedra at all. But Candy did stuff too. And Candy just never takes accountability. Right? If in that moment Candy was like, you know what? You're right. I probably haven't been there as much as I can for you because I'm just so super busy with all the stuff I have going on. I don't even have time for my family, right? My husband is coming to me saying you need to slow down, da 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 da. So I'm sorry. I'll try to do a bit better, but my time is so limited. But I just have all these things that I want to do. I think Candy mentioned she wants to get an EGOT, which is like a Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony, right? So she has her own goals, and she's not bad for wanting to do these things. But I feel like she can communicate that in a way, not that it would make it okay to Marlo and Sheree, but look, if that's what it is, that's what it is. If you prioritize your career over Sheree and Marlo, it is what it is, right? I can understand that. But like, don't get so defensive. Just communicate that in an honest way and just be like, I'm sorry, but this is what it is. I don't know why Candy's acting like they're doing her something. You know what I mean? They're not doing her something. They think that you're their friend. And if you're not checking up on them, especially you're in the middle of filming right now. It's not like you're off season. So you guys are like not legally, but you guys are being paid right now to be friends. And if you're not being a friend, then what are you getting paid for at the end of the day? It's really, I just feel like Candy is just pretty much, she's using the show, which, I mean, this is no secret. She's using the show to promote what she has going on the side. So she shows up to the scene, does what she needs to do, and then she leaves. She's not really invested in anything going on, and ultimately I don't think that's good for the show. I think that hurts the show. So people have been saying it. I'm not saying I never want to see Candy ever again in anything. I'm actually really happy that Candy's getting into acting. But like, if that's what you want to do, if you want to get into acting and all that stuff, I feel like Candy has built her reputation high enough as it is. Like, Candy really doesn't need, she doesn't need Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? Like, she has other ventures. So if your heart is not in it, I just think it's time to move on at this point. Like, I really don't want to see her back another season if this is what it's going to be, because it's breaking the fourth wall just a little too much for me. And Marlo made a great point, like, because Candy said, well, yeah, Todd is telling me that I don't even have enough time to spend with my family. And Marlo was like, if everybody in your life is telling you the same damn thing, that you're not making time for them, then don't you think that there may be some things that you need to work on? And Candy didn't receive that. And Marlo, Marlo can be very wise when she when she wants to be. She really can. And that's so true. And that's true for me. It's true for everybody. Like, if everybody is everybody that is close to you and that knows you very well are saying the same thing, that they feel like you're not spending quality time with them, something's gotta give. Like, you can't do everything. And if you want to be, because if you want to get an EGOT, being on reality television is not gonna get you an Oscar, okay? It's not. If anything, it will promote your stuff, but you have enough followers, you have your YouTube channel, like, you have enough avenues to promote your shit. Like, you don't need to be on the show anymore. And it would free up a lot of your time so that you can spend with your family, okay? Like, oh my gosh. And just, I think I ranted long enough, but like, Candy just didn't receive it at all. And then Marlo, she started crying, and Marlo and Sheree went to go hug her, and I'm just like, how did this flip around? How did she become the victim in this situation? I really just don't understand. You know what I mean? But I I, I could be wrong. They could be. I think they've known each other for so long that yes, there is a bond, but there's just not a friendship. In my eye, there's not a friendship there. Why are all these reality television husbands so terrible? Like, damn, it doesn't make me want to get married. Like, wow. Sonia and her husband is a piece of work. A piece, like, so they have some, I forgot, like, they have some car company, and where are they from? I don't know. They're from some other state, but they moved to Atlanta, okay? And so he's going back and forth. So, okay. Whoa. Let me rewind. Sanya prepares this beautiful dinner for her husband, okay? So she can sort of kind of ease in the news that maybe she doesn't want a second child because her husband wants one, right? And they're eating and they're discussing everything. And we find out that the husband is not even home for more than half the month a lot of the times. But he is just so, he wants another child, basically, at the end of the day. But it's like, how can you want another child if you are not even here full time to help to support and raise that child? And not even raising the child, but like her just going through the pregnancy alone. Like, you're not even there to help support her. And like his kind of thing was, oh, well, I'm going to work to help to support my family. Meh, 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 meh. Don't get me wrong, money is important, right? Money is definitely important, but there's other things beside money, right? Like emotional support is also just as important as financial support. And and here's the thing, he doesn't even, like, she's there crying and she's so hesitant, and he's like, no, I want to be gone for half the month and I want a child now. Like, she's trying so hard to like try and compromise and speak to him. She made him a dinner, whatever, and like he's not even willing to empathize with her and see where she's coming from. It seems like she also has her own businesses, she also works as well, and it's like she's supposed to put her whole life on hold. She's supposed to compromise herself completely, and he could just do whatever he wants to do and use the excuse of, oh, well, I'm trying to support my family. And it's like, no. I feel like that's a byproduct of you just doing whatever you want to do. You want to do your purpose. You want to reach your goals, and the byproduct of that is that you are financially able to support your family, but it doesn't seem like emotionally, spiritually, anything. It doesn't really seem like you're invested, because for you to see your wife really crying, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just get the kind of feeling like, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll own it. She almost seemed afraid to tell him. Like, she seemed so scared, so hesitant. And he just sat there and like, well, it is what it is. That's what I want. For him, he wasn't even like, well, you know what, sweetie, I hear what you're trying to say. I know that you want me to play more of a role in raising our son that we had together, and if we were to have another child. So you know what? Let me focus on stabilizing the business, getting everything together, setting up, setting, or at least setting the foundation for the business in Atlanta. And then once it's set up and I know that I can be in Atlanta a lot more often, would you then be interested in having another child? Is it, that's just what it is? Like, if I was here in Atlanta more, would you be okay, or would it still be a problem? Like, there's no trying to like understand where she's coming from. There's no sort of like, okay, let's see what we can do so we both, keyword both, can be happy, right? Because I understand, fine, you want, your business is important to you, nothing wrong with that. But he, like, is there a way in which you can do your business and also be present? And if not, then I don't know. You guys gotta, I mean, they're married. You guys have to figure it out. But like, I just think it's really unfair for, it just seems like Sanya is the one that has to sacrifice everything to make it work. And he can kind of go off and do his own thing while she has her own business and she's raising the children. Like, that doesn't seem fair to me at all. And this isn't 1963. This is 2022. So I don't know. And yes, I know her parents live in the home as well as her sister, but I don't know. Does her sister have her own child? I don't think so. But it's like, I feel like the grandparents and the sister, they should be there for like added support. I don't think they should be replacing her husband as a father. There should be bonuses. You know what I mean? Not the father. And I feel like that's what her husband is kind of thinking. Oh, well, her parents are there and her sister's there, so they can kind of pick up the slack. But that's just not fair. Like, you should be an active part of raising your own child. Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, it's just. And it's one thing if that Sonia was okay with it and that's what she wanted, and then they were on the same page. But like, she's not even sure she wants to do that, and like, he doesn't even seem like he's willing to try or make the extra effort to be more present. So I don't really know how this is going to work. I guess we're gonna see how it plays out. But like, damn, these reality TV show husbands are jerks. Okay, I'm still here for She by Sheree joggers. Now, am I gonna buy any of the items? No. I'm here for it. Why not? Why not? If I see any items in Winners or Marshalls and they look cute, I may pick something up. Like that, the blue sweater that she had, the blue sweatshirt. Is that what you call it? The with the zipper, with the sleeves. You know, that little sleeves moment. I think that was cute. Now I can see how some people may not think that was cute, but I think it was cute. Would I wear it? It's not really my style, but it looks great on Sheree. And I'm glad she's getting somebody to help her execute everything now. Are my hopes really high? Would I. Okay, let me stop. Let me be positive. You go, Sheree. Kudos to you for getting that together, because you should have been get that together. Because, like, hello, like, being a part of Real Housewives Rulebook 101, like, you need a business or something to promote. Well, you don't need it, but like, it's a good idea because hello, you're on television, millions of people. Well, I don't know about millions anymore, but a mil or so people are watching you, so you might as well have something on the side. And you know how Sheree gets fired every 2 seasons and then comes back every 4. So I think she should have something in between those seasons. So set it up now, Sheree, while you have the chance. Okay? Definitely by next season. And then they'll get rid of you again. And then I don't know if the show is still on, you'll probably come back, but whatever. I like Sheree, let me stop. Okay. And then there was a next scene with Marlo and her nephews. Is it just me? Maybe I'm completely wrong because I'm not around kids like that. But I feel like Marlo kind of talks to them like they're grown. I feel like, I don't know, the way she was talking to them about their sister and their mom and how, oh, maybe we're all messed up. We all need therapy. And look, therapy is a great thing. I think those boys should definitely be in therapy. But I don't think you should use the words like, did she say messed up or we all have problems? For some reason, I remember messed up. Like, I don't know, like, and then she's talking about the sister in a way that is kind of like, these are kids. I don't know, is it just me? Maybe I'm trying to protect them or shield them, but like, just by that little scene, I'm like, she probably talks to them like they're grown. And some people may say that's a good thing. Some people may say that's a good thing. Some people may. I just don't want her to kind of speak to them. I just feel like as a parent or a parental figure, you do have to protect your children a little bit, and you can't let them in everything that's going on. Not that you lie to them or hide things from them, but you have to be a little bit selective and careful with how you word or say things, because you don't want to kind of cross the line and then the children end up internalizing certain things that maybe they weren't really meant to internalize, or they're taking on certain emotional burdens that are not really theirs. Like, I don't know if I explained that correctly, but comment down below. Is it just me? I just felt like she talked to them like they were a little, like they were grown, just a little bit too much for me. It just made me slightly uncomfortable. But then their aunt is Marlo, so I mean, it is what it is on that one. I mean, I'll take Marlo for an aunt. I wouldn't turn Marlo away as an aunt or a Monty, okay? Let's just be real. Okay, moving on. So Candy Kenya and Moneta, I guess. I don't know. I guess she's a friend of the show, or like a failed auditioner for a Peach, but whatever. So Kenya and well, they meet up to make candles. Let me just add that because that's so important that they met up to make candles, which is pretty cool. Like I wouldn't mind doing that. This seems like a fun activity to do with your friends. Okay. So Kenya and what's her face? Candy get into it about this whole vibrating panties thing. And like yet again, Candy can't take accountability at all and it's really starting to piss me off. Right? So she goes to Manetta and it's like, "Oh, tell me if you would be okay with it." Right? So I thought it would be a great idea to have the ladies wear vibrating panties with each other's husbands around. And then Kenya jumps in, well, if one of the husbands got the remote, I think. And Kenya was saying, like, if you got too close to the remote, your panties would your panties would vibrate, because like all the remotes are pretty much, they work for all the panties. Like if you're close to a panty, it's going to vibrate. And then Monyetta's like, I was with you, Candy, until that part. Like, oh my god, I said it in my previous reviews, so I'm gonna say it again. It's weird. I'm sorry, it's weird. Even if you're a freak and you're open-minded and you don't care, right? Which is perfectly fine. I'm not judging you if you're okay with that. I'm truly not judging you. But at least you should understand or be able to empathize why other people would think it's weird. Or other people, especially if you're not with your husband. Even if you're with your husband, it would be weird. But like, if you're a single lady in the group, and especially with Kenya after what she's been through with Apollo, I don't think she wants to be wearing a vibrating underwear near anybody's husband who is controlling a remote to make it vibrate. Like, no. Like, I can understand why Kenya doesn't want to put herself in that position. I feel like Candy should be able to empathize. But instead of, like, hearing what her friend is saying, she, like, picks and choose other scenarios. "Oh, well, last season, Kenya, you said this, that you would have sex with me, and you said it in front of my husband." It's like, Candy, that's not the same thing. Like, it's not. It's not. Like, and you're just bringing it up to dismiss what Kenya is saying. If you truly had an issue with Kenya bringing that up, you would have said something in the moment. You really didn't have an issue with that. You're just trying to dismiss what Kenya is saying by making it seem like, "Oh, well, why are you being such a prude? Because last time you said that..." Someone using their words, okay, it's not the same as vibrating panties. It's not the same scenario. And you didn't have a problem with that. Kenya has a problem with wearing the vibrating panties. Right? And I didn't even like how Candy, Candy also, and I'm gonna say it, sex shamed. Okay, Candy also sex shamed Moneta by saying, "Oh, don't act different now. Don't act like..." What was her words? I think she's like, "Don't act like a prude," or "Don't act like you're so good." Basically saying, you better agree with me because I know you're a freak. I know you get up to things, so you better be on my side. No. No, 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 no. For someone that is so supposed to be so sex positive, you're shaming people. You're shaming people because they don't agree with you. So you're using their sexuality against them. Like, it's just annoying to me because, like, just Candy never apologizes. That's my thing. Like, just own it once or twice. Take accountability. She always has an excuse or reason for what she does. And I'm sorry, Candy, you're not perfect. You make mistakes. You do. It is what it is. Like, oh my gosh. I hope by the time the reunion comes around, she kind of reflects on her behavior and how she's been acting. And she kind of apologizes, because this is really turning me off from her. It is. I still like Candy, though. Let me know. It's not that deep. I don't really know her, so... I mean, I don't know her at all. Not really know her. I don't know her. Oh, yes. Another thing. Candy brought up the whole thing with Marlo and Sheree. And, like... And like Kenya was trying to defend Candy by saying she's a good friend, by saying, oh, she was on live 2 hours for me, or she waited on live for 2 hours for me. I didn't understand. Did you guys understand what that meant? I didn't. So Candy was live for 2 hours waiting for Kenya, and that proves that she's a true friend. To me, that just sounds like business again. Because, and there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong, but like Candy is trying to build her YouTube channel, and Kenya's very popular as well. So, like, of course she's gonna wait for Kenya to come on her live, because that's also good for Candy. I like, maybe I misheard or I misinterpreted, but like, that to me doesn't prove someone is a good friend. I was a bit confused. Like, I was waiting for some more hardcore examples, and it's like, really, she did a live with you, so that makes her a good friend. Okay, Kenya, if that's what it is, then if that's your standard for friendship, then sure, wonderful, wonderful. Now, like, but I do see how Marlo is kind of on a campaign. She is a kind of like coming for Candy a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like I don't want to say Candy deserves it, but I think she has it coming. And I don't really feel too bad for Candy, because the thing that they're calling her out on, I feel like it's relevant. Marlo's not just pulling something out of her butt. But whatever. So yeah, after Kenya and Candy kind of had their little tiff about the vibrating panties, they were able to move on. And like Candy was like, "Well, that's the difference between me and Marlo and Sheree versus me and Kenya. Me and Kenya can disagree and move on." Which, oh, sorry. If you listen to my other reviews, you know that, like, that's what I love to see. I really do, because I hate to see things dragged on. They exchanged words, they said what they had to say, they agreed to disagree, and they're friends again. Because I don't want to see them fighting over vibrating panties again. Not until the reunion. Not until the reunion. I feel like Candy is definitely going to get it during the reunion. So, Drew has her event, Drop It with Drew, right? Which is her like little workout thingy majiggy. We later find out that the program existed before. Like, this trainer named, what's her name? Jackie? Let's call her Jackie. She created this workout program. It existed for like 5 years. And she decided to bring Drew on, since Drew is on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. And she decided to make Drew the face of her workout routine, pretty much. So, like, Drew didn't come up with this work routine on her own. I guess maybe this lady was training Drew, and she was like, you know what would be a great idea? Why don't you be the face of this whole thing? And yada, yada, yada. I mean, huh? Does it make sense? I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, it doesn't really make sense to have Drew the face of your workout routine. I mean, you couldn't contact Sheree, because did you see Sheree's body? Like, damn, I knew like Sheree was fit, but I didn't know she had all that going on. Her body is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Perfection. Perfection. And I love the She by Sheree logo. It looks so cute. It looks like a star, right? Is it just me? But it looks like a star. Totally cute. I love the mat. I love the water bottle. I mean, those tights, I mean, I wouldn't wear them per se, because I wouldn't want to create the illusion of a wedgie with my tights. But there are definitely women out there that would love that, okay? Would love that wedgie effect. But it looked good on Sheree, okay? It left nothing to the imagination. Sheree's body is absolutely sickening. So kudos to Sheree, and kudos to the logo. I really like it. And if this is the direction that Sheree is going in, then you know what? I'll just leave it there. Okay. So, oh my gosh, so much happened in this last like 20 minutes. It's crazy. Okay, maybe not that much happened. let's talk about Sonia asking Ralph for advice about her husband. Why would you go to Ralph for advice? Did you watch last season? Why would you do that? Why would you go to Drew for advice? And of course, Ralph and Drew is like, oh yeah, just do whatever the man says because that's what you have to do. Like, why would you talk to them? like no offense, but if I'm gonna ask for marriage advice, now, okay, let me take that back. I'm not one of those people that believe like you have to have a perfect life or a perfect relationship to give relationship advice or marriage advice. I'm not saying that because you can learn a lot from what not to do by people who did the wrong thing. Okay, so I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but like I wouldn't go to them on this issue. I just wouldn't, because Drew pretty much does whatever Ralph wants and he walks all over her. So of course she's going to say, "Yeah, you should do that for your husband." And Ralph is very egocentric. Let's just say this, very self-centered. So of course he's just going to care about the men's perspective. And also, it's a different situation. Now, I don't know what Ralph does for a living. Okay, I'm not trying to throw shade. I just literally do not know what he does. Okay, but I'm assuming his business doesn't have him away for more than half of the month, every month. Like, I'm assuming that Ralph is around unless he wants to take a surprise trip to Florida and not tell anybody. But other than that, I'm assuming Ralph is there on a regular basis. So it's a completely different situation. So I think it's kind of unfair to be like, well, we're okay and we can do it, and why can't you? Without even listening to her perspective or the story or nothing. You just jump on, well, you should have more children. Like, Sonia, I don't know why the hell you talked to that. Like, that was not, that was dumb. Okay? I'm sorry, that was dumb. Moving on. Moving on. So, Candy and Marlo. You know what? Okay, let me be fair because I feel like I've been a little bit biased towards Candy in terms of like kind of holding her responsible for the whole mess. But I did forget to mention that Candy mentioned that Marlo and Sheree don't call her either. So yes, a friendship does work both ways. I understand that. You can't expect someone to go out of their way to be a friend to you if you're not doing the same thing. But then it's just like, why not just communicate that calmly? Like, well, I feel like you don't call me or check up on me, but like, can you even call Candy? Because she's just so super busy. I just don't think they're friends like that either way. And I think it comes from both sides. Like, Marlo is shady. Let's just be real. I can understand you not wanting to be friends with her. So let me not just put it all on Candy. Okay, fine. Let me be fair. And Candy, I don't know. Like, I feel like Candy's love language is probably gift giving. You know, I mean, Candy does have a reputation for showing up everywhere. That's why she's so damn busy. But like, just because someone shows up, does that like mean that they're really giving you quality time? Like, they may show up and take a picture and share a couple of words with you, but like, are they sitting down with you and having really deep conversations and being emotionally available? I'm not too sure about that. I feel like Candy is definitely a good industry friend. Like, if you have an event or a charity or something, like, Candy would probably show up and make an appearance, and that would definitely help your event because Candy is this huge star. But is Candy really giving emotional support? I think not. Speaking of Candy, that is really creepy about like the guy that came to her house and like she had to leave the event early. From the clips that they showed, like, he seems like kind of a stalker. I'm getting stalker like vibes. Hopefully it was just a one off type things, but like, these celebrity stalkers can be kind of scary. So I hope that like this was just a one off thing and he is never coming back, and I haven't really heard anything, so I'm assuming that Candy is safe, hopefully, cuz that is really scary, especially with your young children at home. Like, no. No. But they have like gates and everything and security, so I think that Candy is relatively safe. So yeah. Moving on. Did I finish up with Candy and Marlo? Candy and Marlo, yeah, I just think they're not friends. That's all I gotta say. I'm not saying anything more on that one. Right? Um, so this whole thing with okay, not Candy. Marlo and Kenya get into it because Marlo is upset that Kenya told Candy what Marlo said. And I don't get why, although I think Marlo has points when it comes to Candy. I genuinely do. I don't understand why she's so mad at Kenya. I really don't. Like I don't understand. I don't understand why Marlo is mad at Kenya. From the whole thinking that she pretended to be sick situation, I just think that Marlo, I don't know what Marlo wants from Kenya. I feel like Marlo has this double standard where she can go around and talk crap and say whatever she wants to say. But like when Kenya does it, like, oh, she's so offended. Are they both Aquariuses? Yes, they are. You know what? Maybe that explains it. Marlo and Kenya are very similar to me. They both have this habit of like going around antagonizing everybody. And when they get a taste of their own medicine, they play victim. They play victim. Like, if I was a pot stirrer, I'm not going to be upset when someone else stirs the pot against me because at that point, it's like karma. It's just fair game. It is what it is. And it's not like I don't feel like Kenya said anything super shady or super out of character or whatever. I mean, Kenya just really relayed what Marlo said. And on top of that, Kenya checked Marlo in the moment. Kenya said what she had to say to Marlo about Candy donating used clothes in the moment, and she reported back to Candy because that's her friend. I feel like Kenya and Candy are kind of somewhat friends. So yeah, of course she's gonna tell her what you said about her. So I just don't understand why Marlo is so upset with Kenya. I do feel like Marlo bested Kenya in that argument for sure, for sure. Ugh, but like I don't know. I like them together. I like them getting along. They've been doing pretty well of yes having moments where they disagree, but they're able to come back. So yet again, I hope this doesn't like stretch on, but at the same time it probably is going to stretch on because if you keep getting into it with the same person over and over and over and over again, it's like I don't know. But yeah, I feel like Marlo just has something against Kenya. Like Kenya could do no right when it comes to Marlo. So I don't know what's it's just I don't get why Marlo is so upset. I don't think like yeah, was Kenya being messy? Sure, but Sheree is messy as well. Like so why are you cool with Sheree and you're not cool with Kenya? Marlo was also throwing Sheree under the bus multiple times, where it's like, well, it wasn't just me that said something. Sheree said something too. Sheree said something too. Yes, Sheree says something, but when Sheree says something, she says it with a little bit of class. You know what I mean? She's not cussing out Candy. I mean, maybe in her confessionals, but not in front of the other ladies or to Candy's face. Oh my gosh! Speaking of that, what Sheree said about Drew's body being like an open biscuit can or something like that's mean, Sheree. That's really mean. Okay, like speaking of Drew, I don't know why that trainer picked Drew to be the face. Not to say that you have to be. I think you can work out at any size or whatever. I don't think you have to be like super fit with like an 8-pack or 10-pack abs or whatever, whatever. I just think it's the plastic surgery. It's the mommy makeover for me. Right? Because I'm sorry, like if you're branding, it's just not it turns your business into kind of a joke a little bit. Like people are not going to take you seriously because if you're claiming that your clients lose all this weight and your face got plastic surgery and liposuction to kind of achieve the body that they have, and we're watching them work out, and it doesn't really seem like they are really like their posture and everything doesn't really seem all there. It just makes your business look bad. So I don't know, but I guess there's tons of people that are watching this now and that are in Atlanta, and they'll see Drop It with Drew, and out of curiosity they'll come and see what it is, and who knows, they may like it. So who am I to say? Who am I to say? Did I miss anything? I feel like I did because a lot of things happened in this like last 20 minutes, but I'm done with this review. So guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Wow, what an end. See ya everybody. Toodaloo.